Russian forces destroyed a US-made M119 howitzer and a British-made FH-70 artillery system in the Zaporizhzhia region in the past day, the Russian Defense Ministry said in a statement. A US-made M119 towed howitzer, a British-made FH-70 artillery system, two D-30 howitzers and a MSTB howitzer were destroyed by counter-battery fire, the statement reads. The ministry added that Russian aircraft and artillery units had defeated enemy forces near Verbovoy in the Zaporizhzhia region, eliminating up to 30 Ukrainian troops, 2 armored combat vehicles and 3 motor vehicles. Russian forces repelled 7 Ukrainian attacks in the Donetsk area in the past day, eliminating up to 430 enemy troops, the Russian Defense Ministry said in a statement. Battle Group South, backed by artillery units and aircraft, repelled 7 Ukrainian attacks near Klashchiivka, Mariinka, Bodyanoy and Khimik in the Donetsk People's Republic, the statement reads. Up to 430 Ukrainian troops were either killed or wounded in the area in the past 24 hours, the ministry added. According to the Defense Ministry, Russian troops defeated Ukrainian forces near Bogdanovka and Kurdiamovka in the DPR. The Ukrainian army lost 4 armored combat vehicles and 2 motor vehicles. A US-made M777 artillery system, Polish-made Krab self-propelled artillery system, and a Vostok self-propelled artillery system were hit, the statement said. The Ukrainian army lost up to 40 troops in the Kherson area in the past day, the Russian Defense Ministry said in a statement. The losses that the Ukrainian armed forces suffered in the Kherson region include up to 40 troops and 3 motor vehicles, the statement reads. The Ukrainian military's shelling attack on a village in the Zaporizhzhia region killed an elderly woman, a regional emergency official told reporters. The Ukrainian armed forces carried out a shelling attack on the Verbovoy village in the Pologi district at 3:20 p.m. on September 29, killing a local woman born in 1941, he said. On Saturday, a woman suffered wounds in a Ukrainian shelling attack on the city of Gorlovka in the Donetsk People's Republic, Mayor Ivan Perkodko wrote on Telegram.